Noah, how you going, man? What's going on? What's up, fellas? I thought I'd go live. Why not, huh? Just chilling here, seeing the comments that you guys have posted on the video, and I thought, oh, why not just flick the freaking thing on and talk to you guys directly as well. I'm 185, man. 184, 185. I think 185. I haven't measured myself in a while. Jerry, appreciate that, dude. Trevor, how do I do it? It's not that hard, man. You just have to be honest with yourself. What's up, man? Destitute. You just have to be honest with yourself, and like, so I guess it comes with experience a little bit. But if you get tired, just pull the pin, man. Like, you just, I don't know how to say this, but after a little while, you kind of realize what is what. What sort of pains are good, what sort of pains are bad. You kind of work it out eventually. But for the most part, man, we are more durable than a lot of people think. We can definitely work every single day, and people have done that for millions of years, man. We can work, we're resilient. We know these flowers that just freaking grow on the ground, they get stepped on. It's just that modern science has made us believe that we are all this, like, maximum recoverable volume, minimal recoverable volume. What is that, man? Like, how much of that is actually mental? What I'm trying to do here, man, is I'm trying to see if I can see the comments on the computer. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. I can see myself on the computer. It's actually a little bit delayed. It's a bit of a delay. Oh wow, yeah, there's a bit of a delay. Anyway, I think I'm gonna have to try and do it on my phone here. So, yeah, I don't think there's a better way of doing this. I was hoping to pull up the chat on the screen so I can see like a big full screen of what you guys are telling me, so it's kind of more usable. But I don't know if that's actually. Let me try that again. Maybe I'll just ignore the video, and I'll just read off the screen what you guys are telling me, rather than just freaking sitting here on the phone and just struggling with the damn thing. Let's see if this will work. Basically, what I want is I want to set up a thing where I can easily see what you guys are talking about without struggling. But it's freaking off-putting as hell, seeing myself on the screen, all delayed and whatever. How do I do it? The 3 grey dots. Pop out chat. Oh. Who was that? I gotta thank whoever said that. All right. Jerry Cream, my man. That is perfect. I've got everyone on the screen. I wish I could show you. Actually, here, I will show you, man. Look at this. This is what I got. Thanks to Jerry, this is what I'm working with right here. So, I can see the whole thing, man. Look at that. How sick is that? So basically, it's like a live Q&A, if you will. I literally sat here and I'm like, all right, I've got half an hour to 45. I want to sit here and just, talk to you guys, do the comments and whatever. And I thought, shit, why am I doing this the old-fashioned way, man? Like, why don't I just get on a live? Even though I've uploaded the damn video for tonight, I thought, why don't I just get on here and actually talk to you guys, and we can discuss stuff properly. 100K plus, yeah, there it was. the funny thing about that story, man, is that, you know, that plaque spent probably a good year tucked away in a cupboard somewhere. I didn't want to put it up. And it was until we moved some furniture around the house. It wasn't until then that I put the thing on the wall. And now when my kids have friends over and whatever, they're like, "Oh wow, your dad's a YouTuber. Oh, I was, you know, this." They get so excited about it, you know. All the kids want to be YouTubers, man. That's the one thing that you kind of learn pretty quickly. It's like, oh wow, they look at you like you're a freaking saint or something, man. It's like, wow, your dad is a superhero. He's a freaking YouTuber. You know, back in the day, you know, people used to get, I guess, equally excited about, you know, people getting their PhD or their doctorates, you know, medicine or something like that. But now it's like, screw being a doctor, man. Screw being a PhD, you know, graduate. It's about being a YouTuber. How many subs you got, man? How many likes have you got on Instagram? That's the whole thing's about. It's just freaking funny, man. It's just the other day. So we had my girl turned 4. What day is it today? So last week, or the week before that. And, you know, the whole house is full. Kids are running around everywhere. And all of them were basically lined up in this little room here. And they were like, wow, the YouTube 100K, wow. Oh my God. Keep going. It's nice to follow your journey. Congrats from Brazil. Chesido Neto. Thank you, man. Incredibly Chinese, the reincarnation of Jerry Springer, Jerry Seinfeld's cousin. That's it. Matic. Hi, Van. How you going? Zeus Lee. Look, book stand. Yeah, man. You know, the funny thing was, man, before we had kids, you know, I used to read a fair bit, man. Like, literally all of my free time was spent either training, like true free time. It was either spent training or reading books. Now, I'm not a, you know, wonder reader of books, man. Like, you know, some people claim they can read a book a day. That's not me. Like, I am a thinker. And so, you know, I'll open up a book and I'd read 3 pages. And those 3 pages will freaking throw me offside so much that I would spend the following like 10 minutes thinking about that 3-page, whatever the thing was talking about. And I'll continue reading, and then I realize, shit, I have no idea what the last 3 pages said. So then I have to go back, like I'm too deep. I can't just skim read. Because for me, like, when people say I've read a book in a day, I'm thinking to myself, how much did you actually retain? How much of that did that actually stimulate you to think about whatever the author was trying to get you to think about? You know what I mean? Like, you could read the same book 100 times and get 100 different things out of it. So when people claim to read like all these books, you know, here and there, like it's nothing, I always think to myself, that's bullshit, man. Like, what are you doing this? Is this for like your Instagram status or what? What is it, man? You know, so you can say you've read 1,000 books. What does that mean? So Panda Bear, I've never tried martial arts, dude. Never. You know, my grandfather was a boxer back in the day. You know, we're talking like back in the days. My grandfather. So he kind of always, you know, used to teach us how to stick the hands up and what to do. Like if the kids want to start on us or something like that, he used to teach us. Never start a fight. You know, never lay your hands on somebody first. But if things get out of control, then you need to know kind of what to do. But never had real proper training, man. Like I just never did that. No clue. Sitting every day one, just sitting here. I'm just sitting here. Well, what's that meme? That African fella. Oh man, what's the guy's name? He's all over freaking social media. It's like they ask him, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Who? Me? Me? Nothing, man. I'm just hanging around." I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Who's that guy that says I'm just hanging around? Man, that guy gets me a laugh every time. Beetlejuice. Oh my God. That is too funny. I don't know why I find that guy so funny, but it's freaking hilarious. And because people like, you know, mix all this shit up, and so there's like heaps and heaps of these Beetlejuice compilations and all this other stuff. It's freaking hilarious. Where are we? Ryan, how you going? Respect, dude. Functional Shreks, you're onto something, man. I'm onto something, man. I worked up a pop-up window, man. It's changing the game over here, man. Hey mate, fan from Sydney. Oh dude, appreciate you, dude. One man, his white bread. Richard Frank, why not focus your OCD energy into powerlifting? I kind of am, dude. Like, not that I have OCD, but a lot of my energy goes into training, man. As you know, a lot of you guys can appreciate. I think physical exertion, physical training has many layers of benefits. It's not just the physical realm. There's many things. It teaches you. I would say it teaches you more mental strength and stability more than any other freaking level. What's the big screen at the back? Oh no, this is not a big screen, man. So this is a bar. This is a bar. We are sitting inside the bar. So obviously I didn't put this in. This is a very old house. When we bought it, this room was made into a bar. There's a sink here. You can see there's a sink. Very old. It's not, I didn't use it for that. And what we did is I put my freaking thing in here. I mean, I'm not a drinker of alcohol. Like, you know, there's all these shelves that was basically, I'm guessing, covered with alcohol. I just put my computer in here. It's my little extra room, my little computer room. Squatting hero, Captain 8. Not Captain 8, Captain 13, right? My God, my Roman numerals are not good. That's right. Everyone wants to be a YouTuber, but Ivan just wants to squat. Simple as that. How to deal with chronic pain except chemical intervention that gives me constant mind fog. Ever had any experience as a medical professional? You got chronic pain? Well, dude, mate, it depends. It depends what the pain is caused by. Like, there's many. Oh, what's this? Oh, Robert Jones Wayne. Thank you, Robert. Wow, it's so much better on the screen here, man. I can actually see things. Thank you, Robert, man. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you for the support. Chronic pain is a tricky one, man. There's a whole specialty of medicine in hospitals called the acute pain service. And you know, they come in when we can't control acute pain and pain management. But there's also like a wing of pain management for people that essentially have chronic pain, ongoing pain. And a lot of this stuff is chemistry. You know, they put you on opiates, they put you on all sorts of stuff. Oh my God, another one. I can really see it. David Radovic, thank you so much, man. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you. So a lot of people have these chronic pain for whatever reason, like, you know, crushed vertebrae, arthritis in the knee, in the hip, and whatever the case might be. And so a lot of the times it's actually just taking your pain meds. But if you have something that you can kind of work through, I mean, I don't really know your situation. You know, the chemistry or chemicals should be the last resort, man, because you can't take anything without having side effects. The thing doesn't exist. There's always a side effect. And so you kind of, let's say you treat one problem and there's like 50 other problems that arise from that, and then you get screwed. Oh my goodness. Marcus Saval. Thank you, Marcus, dude. Thank you for the support, dude. And so, you know, it'd be like, some people, like, you know, will raise their eyebrows and shake their head at me, but I am a freaking minimalist. Not just my previous kind of methodology of training, but I've been a minimalist also when it comes to medicine as well. I'm anti-pills. I'm anti-supplements. I'm anti anything that comes in powder or liquid or whatever the pharmaceutical companies make. I don't want it. I will move heaven and earth before I pop a pill. That's just my like baseline. So in absolute musts will I take something. Even antibiotics. People are like, oh, just take a course of antibiotics for whatever. Well, the GPs all the time around here, man. I don't know about other parts of the world. You know, you go in with the flu or whatever. You know, I get patients, they come to ED all the time. Oh yeah, I went to see my GP, and the GP thought I was, you know, unwell with a virus, so he gave me an antibacterial. You've given them that for a virus. Oh no, the thing is, you don't want a secondary infection with bacteria. No one cares about the negative effects of antibiotics. Like, you have bacteria in your gut which you need to digest. This is kind of like your whole freaking health is based on this. And so you take a course of antibiotics for like 5 or 7 days or whatever the case might be, you are killing millions of flora, bowel flora. You're killing millions, and then later down the track you have malabsorption, you have constipation, you have diarrhea, you have mind fog, you have lethargy, you have nausea, you have all these different things, and people start chasing around and stabbing in the dark to try to work out what the problem is. It was the antibiotic. But medicine's not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that. But it's so there are situations where you do need medicine, but it's the last resort. So that's what I would say to you for chronic pain, man. Just do everything and anything before you get to that. Where are we up to? Oh, people are talking about the hole. Yeah, it's a hole, man. It's a bar. Oh goodness, what happened there? Man, sometimes I feel like I'm 105 years old when it comes to technology, man. Like, damn, I'm so crap. Oh man, the whole screen just flicked and threw me off. So I've lost my freaking placement on the thing. Everybody, it's not easy to get 100. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Like 100,000 on any platform is huge. I just feel, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I am not grateful or that I'm not impressed by 100,000 followers or I'm not impressed by the plug, the YouTube plug. It's all very, very impressive. But like I have this, I was trying to explain it to somebody today, man. Like, I have this like feeling. I don't know if this is the definition of this, but it's like an imposter syndrome. I think maybe I don't even have the definition of that properly. But this feeling of like whatever I've got, like these 100,000 followers that I got in a short space of time, it almost feels like I'm not worthy of it. Like, who am I? Sometimes I'll look up, looking for people that lift and whatever, like, Olympic weightlifters, powerlifters and whatever. And I see they have like 30,000 followers and they have like world records. And I'm like, I see that, I almost feel embarrassed. Like, who the hell am I to have 100,000 followers and this Olympian dude who is setting world records, is fighting for like impressive physical feats. He doesn't have the fellowship or the. To me, sometimes I kind of get embarrassed, or when I hear somebody speak that's a lot better than me, a lot more knowledgeable than me, I'm like, wow, man, like, why do I have more followers than them? So I kind of feel that aspect of it. I don't know whether that's right or not. Maybe that's just my mental kind of makeup. But I have a lot of that going through my mind. And so I think a large part of me not displaying my YouTube plaque was a bit of that. It sounds so weird. You guys are going to be like, you something's wrong with you mentally. But it's almost like, not that I'm embarrassed of it, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting this across. It's like, I don't feel like I'm good enough to have, because for me, 100,000 people, we have a stadium here in Australia, in Melbourne, the Melbourne Cricket Ground, right? Every year that we hold the footy finals over there, grand final, and it holds 100,000 people. 100,000 people, man. If you put me on a stage right now in front of 100,000 people, I would shit myself. So, it is very, very difficult for me to imagine 100,000 people following me or supporting me. And I'm like, I'm not somebody that can get up on stage and feel comfortable in front of 100,000 people. And so in a way, in a roundabout way of me explaining, it's kind of like I don't feel like it's a fair representation of where I am. I don't know. It's a weird thing, But this is how I kind of process it literally. Obviously, I'm not being followed by 100,000 people. A lot of these people that click subscribe probably haven't seen one of my videos for the last year and a half. So it's a bit of that as well. But I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like I am proud of it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't even know what that means, man. But then also, like at the same rate, I see people that have 1 million subscribers, and all they do is play video games. And they just act dorky and whatever. So I don't know. I don't even know. Like it's very hard to kind of process what all of that really means. What about thoughts on nutrition and dieting, eating habits? Man, I've touched on this many times before. I don't fit in any camp. I don't belong in vegetable only, freaking oxygen only, what vegans eat. I don't know what they eat, but it seems like it's not a lot. Or eat everything that comes under the sun. I feel like there's a balance. There's some sort of balance when it comes to nutrition. I don't fall into any camp. I just the only kind of affinity that I have to any of these extreme groups is probably the fasting. If you can go without food for a long period of time, that is probably the best thing you can do for your health. And I've spoken about this many times before. Like I've actually fasted in the last probably month. I've done like a 40-hour fast, I reckon I did. And to me, that's probably the best thing you can do for your health. Just don't eat anything. Let the body relax. Let the bowels relax. Let the digestive system relax, and then the body can go into a healing kind of phase. That's kind of the only thing that I would stress about when it comes to the diet. Okay, when's the last time I did a fast? When is the last time I did a fast? And that kind of plays on my mind more than anything. Greetings from Austria, CK. I recently got sick for 2 weeks and hit a PR of the first session. Do you think you can desensitize yourself, deload, just by switching squat variation? Definitely, man. One of the fellas that watches me here, Squat RX, I think his username is, he said it the best. He basically said sometimes change is good as rest. So change in itself is like a rest in many different aspects. The motor neurogram that you're using for one particular movement, even if it's a squat variation, if you use another squat variation, it's like a slightly different, and kind of the body uses a different, let's say, railroad of messaging, and it's a change and it rests to the first one. So I definitely think if you can throw in variation, a lot of people use rest as that variation, but you can actually just be quite active every single day doing the same damn plane of motion, but just change it up. That's what I've basically learned in the last 2 weeks. It is very effective. I'm feeling great. Everything is feeling amazing. I feel like I'm getting stronger. My wide stance squat is catching up slowly. I'm feeling more confident. I don't feel like my hips are gonna shoot out of the side when I do it. So it's definitely something that I'm loving so far. Or would you even consider a pause to your adventure? I think the end of the journey will come eventually. I'm not gonna stop for the sake of stopping. I'm gonna stop when life makes me stop, for the lack of a better term. When I have a good reason, when I feel it deep down in my heart, when I I'll get a signal. Right now, I feel like I'm enjoying it every single day. I'm looking forward to it every single day. I don't see a reason to stop. It's just the way I look at it. Daily squats implies OCD. Daily squats implies OCD, I guess you could call it that. Supper Boy EXE, hey Van, how you going, dude? Meat-based vegan. I read 0 books, but I lift millions of kilos of weights. Nice. Beetlejuice. That's that funny, dude. DB says, hello, Van. Run us through your dream home gym, fella. Equipment, but also stuff like cold tub, etc. Oh, man. Dream gym. Like I've said this in the past, man. I've spoken to the cameraman about this many times. If you're into lifting and you are into, getting stronger, whatever the genre of fitness you're into, I think we all want like our private gym, our private kind of workout area. Like if you're Michael Jordan put a whole freaking basketball court where he lived, basically in his house. If you're a swimmer and you're worth millions and millions of dollars and money's not a problem, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a freaking amazing pool somewhere near you. For me, man, like I dream of a situation, and I'm not like into like flashy shit, like, there's a gym and then there's like a massive window and there's like a pool, and next to the pool is a freaking canyon, and under the canyon there's like birds flying. I don't like none of that fancy shit. My dream gym is basically, you've watched West Side Barbell, you've watched the Louis Simmons train. The thing looks like it's like an abandoned warehouse with a bunch of shit thrown inside. That's kind of what I want my gym to be. I just want a whole host of like great shit inside. Reverse hyper, a place to pull my sled, squat stand, maybe even a monolift if I had ample space, bench press, 45 hyper, GHD, what else? Yeah, like space where I can like do sprints. What else do I absolutely love? Leg extension, leg curls. I wouldn't mind the good girl, bad girl machines. I think they have a place as well. Just a mean dumbbell rack. And actually, I would love like old shit. Like, if you watch videos of Ronnie Coleman back in the day, like, those metal disc dumbbells. I don't like the new flashy shit. Everything's kind of like clean and new, and I want stuff that's beat up. Like, I like all the stuff. Like, I love cars that are in the 90s. If I could have a garage full of cars, I'd have a Supra, R32 GDR, R33, R34 GDR. I would have an Evo 4, 5, 6, 7. I would have a WRX, like the 98 model. I would have a bunch of these cars. I would have the freaking Testarossa Ferrari. I would have, I don't know, the Lamborghini Diablo, like all that kind of old shit. Even if the previous owners had it and raped it, I want it. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of like that. Like, for me, it's like when when I bought the SSB, of course, I have to buy the SSB kind of brand new because, limited options around the place. But it's brand new. I'm the first one to have it, and so it's kind of nobody else set a PR on this thing. Nobody else has gained anything out of this. This came freshly off the damn press, let's say, and it's kind of like a soulless thing. I have to kind of put the soul into it over the following years that I train with it. But when you get something that's somebody's had before and has a history, kind of feels cool. Like my Evo 7, when I got it, I was asking all these questions about the previous owners because I wanted to learn like who these people were. The guy before me was a student. The guy before him was a guy that rushed off to the Navy. He was like into defense, trained all the time, physically active. The guy before that was in Perth. Somebody owned it in Perth. I don't really know much about them, but like I want to know history about the things that I have. So for me, my gym would, man, if I could like buy the Westside Barbell gym, that would be sick. I don't know. That's kind of how I am. Those drawings in the back are incredible. Yeah, my kids keep drawing and I keep saying they're great and they keep sticking it up on the walls. I look like Beetlejuice. What were my lifter numbers when I started off? Can you remember? Oh, dude. So I'll tell you, when I first started, man, the first time I walked into a gym, I would have been like 16 or something like that, 17. I didn't know what I was doing. I just went on the machines and then I left again for like the following year or whatever. When I first kind of started training properly, like meaningfully cared about what I was doing, I wasn't just going into the gym to get tired, was when I bought that squat rack, when I bought my own stuff at home. That was around the time when I started learning about, periodization. I bought my practical programming by Mark Ripperto. I bought my starting strength by Mark Ripperto. Mark Ripperto was like the early stuff that I read. He kind of taught me the basics. I'll never forget this. This is like it was yesterday. I remember, initially I didn't buy many plates because I was weak as shit. So I remember the 2 green 10 kilo plates that I had. I put them on. So I was like 25 at that point. 24, 25 is when I bought the squat rack. And I remember grabbing that thing and I did a set of 10. I'll never forget it. I did a set of 10 and I remember letting go of the 10th rep and I remember standing up and going, fuck, my back is lit. I'll never forget it. It was like a world's greatest pump in my lower back from doing 40 kilos for a set of 10. Now, probably I was rounding my back. Probably the form was shit. But that was my starting point. So just know that with 40 kilos, my back got lit up. So my deadlift wasn't anything impressive. My squat was also pretty shitty. It took me a bunch of time to get to 100 kilos. Not because I couldn't maximally probably lift it, because I was scared I was going to snap my spine, essentially. That I was going to herniate a disc and screw myself. I always had this fear of back injuries. So I never really tested for a very, very long time. I never really did anything sub 5 repetitions for a considerable amount of time because I was scared of injury. Superboy XE, yeah, same. I can read really fast, but I always take me a long time to read one. How many sets of sitting do you usually do? How long do you have a home gym for? I've had it now for 10 years, man. Miguel Gonzalez, my squat depth feels so much easier after doing wide stance mobility warm-up for the last weeks. There's something about it, man. I think it's something got to do with the internal hip rotation. When you go wide, you explore a different range that your hip has to go through. And I think it adds to the internal hip rotation. And then when you go narrow stance, you just have more space to work with within your hip joint. And I think that's why you feel more comfortable after you've warmed up wide. Even if you do horse stance, it just does something to it. I don't quite understand it. Eric Johansson says, do you do any cardio nowadays, Ivan? Nothing, dude. I was asked this a few days ago, do I do any cardio? I don't do any cardio at all anymore. Other than like the stuff that I do, like the pogo hops that I do for 100 reps per set. You know, that gets my kind of, it's kind of like skipping in a way. That gets my heart rate going a little bit, but in terms of like steady state cardio, running and all that, I don't do anything. Nothing at all. Just pop in and get some same name call out. Hope you're doing good, fellow. Say here, right animator. Niksha, Brat Moy. ALD 32. Yo, Ivan, good to see you. I watch your videos before I work out. It helps. Respect. Nian Nice Koni. Ooh, I think that's Polish. I don't quite understand that one, man. Then we've got Robert and David hooking me up. Helix DJ says, switch to a wide stance seated good morning today and I feel so opened up. I almost feel guilty that I spent so long mentally shutting off to the whole world of wide. I just thought specificity was king, and then if you do wide, you're going to be good in wide, and if you do wide, you're not going to practice narrow. It took me a long time to get around to it, man, but wide is better than narrow, at least for training. If you listen to all the boys from Westside, they will say, if you train in wide, your narrow will also be good. So wide covers two things, narrow only covers one thing. And so keep that in mind. And so most of my training sessions now, I don't know whether you guys have noticed, you know, I do most of my stuff wide now. So, you know, I think I do 2 sessions a week where I don't do something with an SSB or a box. So 5 out of 7 sessions every single day, every week, SSB wide to various different heights, whether it's a 10-inch box, 7-inch box, 12, 16, 18. I'm just continuously varying the height that I'm sitting on, and always wide, always pushing out. And then I'll have a front squat day, which is normal stance, back squat day, which is normal stance. And sometimes, like in recent, like a few days ago, I did an SSB narrow and I hit that 210 PR. But I'm really trying to spend a lot of time in wide, because I feel like that's where the magic is for me. This is, maybe I'm just odd, but this is where my weaknesses are. So I've kind of built this strength in narrow, but I'm very, very weak wide. For whatever reason, I've kind of tried to understand what's going on, but I think it's got something to do with my anterior pelvic tilt. When you go wide, there's like a bit of more of an arch, and there's more of a fight to keep the knees out. I don't know, but it's beneficial. So I get you why the City Good Mornings helped you today. Homer Philo says, respect Rob, and I absolutely say respect to Rob. Lemon Lime Squeeze, yo Ivan, you said in today's video I wasn't that interesting of a session, but how many guys can you say that while squatting 200 kilos in the same session, respect Ivan? Thank you, man. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of times I don't even worry about what weight I'm lifting. It's a great indicator of, you know, how you're feeling and, you know, what the session is doing, but it's how you move, you know. And I felt like I was moving crappy, you know, even though I hit 200, it felt crappy. I don't know, it felt like I wasn't in my groove. I wasn't switched on. I was lazy. I was tight. But yeah, you know, hitting 200 on a bad day is a pretty freaking good day. Do you take any supplements? I don't take any supplements at all, Nima. Jules says antibiotics are horrible. Yeah, man, absolutely. They take a lot away from you, so you have to be aware of that. DeAndre, kind. What kind of car do you drive? The yellow one we see. Yeah, so that's my daily, man. I've got an Evo 7. That's my daily. It's my actually only car, really. Garlic is best antibiotic, definitely. Lemon squeeze, raw pill, carrot. Do you take paracetamol? Yeah, paracetamol is probably the safest one with the least amount of adverse effects. But I don't. Only if I have like proper fever would I take it. Sean says just finished deadlifts, binged the recent videos, and now watching the live stream. Respect, Sean. Thank you for being here, man. Marcus Saval says, thank you for all the training inspiration. Was wondering if you ever had any plans of visiting Europe, more specifically Sweden. Would be a dream come true to join a meetup of sort. Dude, that would be absolutely amazing if I had the ability to do that. But as you know, man, it's not easy. It's not easy to do any of these things. I've got young kids, house, mortgage, job. And so if I had, the platform and if I had the money that I could fly around the world, I would do that. I would love to go around the world and do that. But, traveling to that extent is for people that have, money to do that. And as what the prices are right now in the world, not only is the interest rates going up, but also travel expenses going up. So you actually need quite a lot of money in your back pocket to take off. So, but maybe one day things will change and I'll be able to kind of see the world. But seeing the world is probably going to have to be like, let's say, a 20-year plan right now. That's how it feels, unless some crazy stuff happens in the world. I don't know how you say your name. Naina Siakoni, paracetamol and tramadol. Ooh, that's heavy. Miss Squad every day says, Homophilo, you're going to donate as well. Laku noć. Jacko, don't know the rest of that username. Thanks for the inside love from Turkey. Appreciate you, dude. Freddie Craven says, how much easier would you think emergency departments and medical care in general would be on staff if more people were healthy? Oh, dude. I want to say 90% of all disease is probably secondary to some sort of inflammation of the body. What inflammation, you might ask? Well, the shit that we put in our mouth. It's pure freaking toxins. People don't fast. People eat shit. People eat preservatives. People eat all sorts of crap. They drink a shit ton of alcohol. They take drugs. Everyone is overfed and also under or malnourished. People are just spending half of their life eating shit. And so their guts are inflamed, the liver is inflamed, the pancreas is dying, the smoking shit. It's like, I don't think the human race has ever been weaker in the history of the human race. We're living longer, but the quality is poor. Like, you take 80% of the world and you put them in a jungle, they all die within a week, all of them. Because everyone's got some sort of freaking medicine that they're relying on. So I think the gene pool as a whole is getting weaker and weaker because these people are reproducing. These bad habits are reproducing. They're going from generation to generation. Weakness is being reproduced. And so, it's getting worse and worse and worse. The pharmaceutical companies are making a killing of selling Band-Aids around the world. And when I say Band-Aids, I'm talking about, blood pressure tablets. Take your blood pressure tablets and take your antidepressants. But don't fast and don't do a cold plunge. And don't eat healthy shit. That's kind of the second or tertiary message that we get. First, you must take your cholesterol tablet and you must take your blood pressure tablet. That's what we need because that's business, that's economy. I'm a cog in that system. Like I work as a nurse and I'm popping pills every single day and I see this shit all the time. So if people were healthier, I think a lot of these big companies that are making a killing from it, they will go bankrupt. Think about it. Why? Like if you're running a business, you want customers. Would you want these customers to piss off or come back? So in a way, you want the population to be heavily diseased, heavily of poor health, because these are the people that are going to keep coming back. And especially if they're stupid and they don't realize to actually just stop eating food and start doing some exercise, and instead of working 100 hours a week, work 20 hours a week, they'll probably have a better time living. No, but we're fed this message where you have to spend, eat, work, And it's a vicious loop. No one's got time for anybody. I heard something really, really good the other day. People have never been more connected, and what is it? People have never been more connected, yet so isolated at the same time. Think about that. I'm paraphrasing the guy that said this. He was actually a Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. I saw a thing on him. He did a podcast recently. He said something along the lines of, people have never been more connected and yet are lonely, or something along those lines, because of this. You know, we're not, there's no reality anymore. Like, so, yeah, anyway, I could go on and on about this, but yes, I probably wouldn't have a job if people knew primary health. People have no idea what our body's supposed to work. Homophilo says, I support every day. Respect, Homophilo. Just goes to show what consistency can do, eh? Yeah, man. Consistency is everything, I think. Hello, Ivan. Zabid, how are you, man? Joe Tank 15, don't be embarrassed. You deserve it. Thank you, man. Your humility is beautiful. Appreciate that, Keenan. Appreciate it. Destitute is laughing. Just Destitute is always bloody laughing. How much vitamin D do you take? How much Vit D do you take? I don't take vitamin D at all. All I take is from what the sun gives me. David Radovich, dude, you do much more in some way than world record Olympians. They are focused on the goal and that's it, most of them. You, however, motivate others. Yeah, I guess I understand what you're saying, David. It's maybe the people that are on top and who are, really, trying to set world records, they don't have time for anybody else. In fact, they probably have to be, by the virtue of their goal, they have to be really, really selfish. And you see that all the time. You see, like, I watch basketball, I watch soccer, and a lot of these guys say, after they're retired, it's like, okay, time to give back to my family, time to be around my kids, although their kids are probably now moving out of home. So they've kind of missed all of the childhood of their kids in a way, the majority. So I guess these top athletes don't have time for anybody else. They're too focused on themselves. So it kind of makes sense that they don't have the following, some of them. Alex Giannoni, because you are relatable, eager to share information and give great insight. Thank you, Alex. Destitute is laughing again. Vegans eat, not a lot. Sai Fula Abdul, you are in the process of getting a lot better, which is more relatable to 90% of us, and your consistency of replying and sharing knowledge helps you get more interest. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I know that I'm not good. I'm okay. I've worked a lot, but I'm not like anywhere elite, and so I feel like I'm like anybody else. I watch videos just like you guys watch videos. I try to learn from all sorts of different people. I'm not a finished product. I'm not somebody that has the answers. I'm literally somebody that is showing you the working out of how to go about working it out. And when I find something that's good, I'll freaking title the video, I'm onto something. And I want to share, and I'm excited about sharing this thing because a lot of people will be like, oh, no, why don't you keep your cards to your chest? Fuck the rest. You just focus on your shit. Don't tell them the secret. One thing that I've learned in life is that there is no secret. The secret, I think, is the change. Change. I'm onto something right now. Tomorrow, I'm not going to build something. Because if I keep doing this shit, it gets least and least effective. So you need to freaking continuously change shit. And so people think, I've worked it out, I don't want to tell anybody. Bullshit. In fact, you're probably more into it and more onto something if you found the shit, shared it, and then get feedback from like 1,000 other people about this damn thing, and then you have more of what's onto something. Because then you have all like 1,000 different anecdotes coming in from the sides, fitting into the same idea, and then the idea kind of flourishes and grows like a flower because of all this fertilizer that's coming, all these different ideas. And that's what keeps me coming back. That's what motivates me to make the channel. Like the motivation for the working out is second to none to me. Like, even if I was in a dark room without any light, I'll still be there freaking trying to squat and bang damn weights or whatever. The YouTube part of it, like I do rely on you guys for motivation. So when I get comments and I reply and there's like a dialogue and there's a feel of community and idea sharing, I love that. We have a saying in nursing, man, like any day that you come in and you learn something, it was a fun day. The shitty days is when you come in and you don't really learn anything. Like it's all kind of like the same old crap over and over again. But the moment something happens in ED and it's like something new, it's like, oh, there's a new, did you see that ECG in bed 4? Like, how cool is that? What the hell is going on there, man? We all flock to get the ECG. We're trying to measure the ST segments and blah, 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 all this shit. It gets people excited because it's interesting, right? That's the best thing about it. And so when you share ideas, this is my best friend said this, man. He said something kind of in like, look, me and my best friend were driving a car one day, and we were on a phone call with the other best friends. There's 3 of us that I kind of grew up, and they're like my brothers, basically. The only difference is we come from different mothers, different families, but we grew up together, right? We were on a phone call, so 2 of us were on a phone call with the 3rd guy, and we were talking about, I don't know what, man, but the guy on the other side on the phone, he basically said, early on in my life, I learned that sharing, I'm going to paraphrase the shit out of it, and I always tell him this stuff, I'm always repeating this stuff, this quote to him, but he said it a lot better. He said, early on in my life, I realized that sharing, giving, is the best way to receive because it's infectious, it's a disease, it's a viral, it's a pandemic when you share. And selfish people don't realize that. If you give, giving is a freaking disease because the person that receives that person that receives it wants to jump on the sword for you, man. Because giving is like, it's like this, it's like, oh, I'll show you, man. You give me, I'm going to give you 10 times. And I feel that as well. I've had people in my life hook me up majorly. And I feel like, fuck, one day I'm going to have the means and I'm going to fucking rock up with a fucking CBA truck in front of your house. CBA's, Commonwealth Bank of Australia. I'm going to rock up and I'm going to dump like $10 million in your front yard and I'll just fuck off. How about that? That's what it does. Like, so you give somebody $1, they're going to give you $100. And once you truly appreciate that, then you are cooking with gas. Then you truly realize the power of it, right? So let's say I make a video and I'm pouring my heart out here and I'm telling you exactly what's happening in my mind. Whether I'm right or wrong, you guys can see that I'm trying, and I'm not fabricating this shit out of my fucking ass. I'm trying to tell you how it is. And you see that, right? And I'm pouring it out. And then 100 people on the other side are like, no, Ivan, it's like this. And then I get 100 different messages. So I've done input 1, and I get input 100. See how that I mean, that's my experience. You guys might disagree with that, but that's definitely been mine. And I feel like in a way, I chose nursing for a similar type of thing because nursing is about giving. I'm always, trying to help people. A lot of people say to me all the time, like, oh, Ivan, I don't know how you do that job. Not a lot of people can do that job. I'm like, you're right. Not a lot of people can do that job, but people realize that, and I'm proud to say I'm a nurse. And you guys can think about what a nurse does. Yeah, man, I'm a nurse, and I'm proud of it. And I try to help people the best I can. And it feels good, I don't know which question that was. Leo, all the jerseys you have would be great to hear, and you talk about some NBA. Did you watch the finals? Not only did I watch the finals, but I watched every single game, basically, man. Like, I'm a big basketball fan. Maybe I can make a video one day where I show you all the jerseys, all the 70-odd jerseys that I have. Imagine eating oxygen fasting. Did you get the clot shot? Yeah, I got the clot shot, man. That's a topic for another day, man. Don't get me started on that. Do you change your training when fasting? No, I just auto-regulate and try to do the best I can, Alex. Metabolisa Ivan, I haven't been going to the gym because of a skin condition that popped up a few days ago. I have no idea if it's ringworm or staph. Any tips to heal? You got to work out what it is, and then you got to apply the ointment on top of it. And then you might have to, just see the doctor. I don't know. You got to get that diagnosed what it is. I think ringworm is a fungus, if I'm not mistaken. I think ringworm is a fungus. Maybe wrong. I hate skin. I'm not really good with skin conditions and eye conditions. No Clue says, what do you think about the SSB squats without the back protection thing? I've never tried it without the pads, man, so I don't really know how that feels. I don't know. I think it would be too painful. Joe says, Ivan, what is the deal with the jerseys? I have been planning to get one. Where do I go? So the jerseys are not with me, man. So that announcement video that I did, I basically just told you what I'm working on. So I got the samples. I like the samples. I showed you guys the samples, and I've contacted the supplier and I said, all right, man, mass production. I want 300 of them. And so I've paid the deposit, forked the cash out, and now I have to wait. I think he said something like 8 weeks now for the thing to arrive. When the thing arrives, it's literally going to be sitting here, like right here is where I'm going to have them. And then I'm going to set up probably an Amazon account, and then I'll give you guys a link. I'll make a video. I'll say, this is where they are. And then you guys can, get yourself a jersey and support the channel, and we'll go from there. But this is all very, very new for me. So you need to be aware of that I'm not some business guru of all of this stuff. This is the first time around for me. So I'll tell you guys, I'll show you guys the working out essentially of what's going on with that. So I'll let you know, man. Niall Mezet says, have you tried incorporating sprints into your routine? Feel like they are too taxing, but I've read amazing things about them. Niall Mezet. Yeah, man, I've tried sprints probably a year or two before the squat every day journey started. I did them for probably like 8 weeks, and I tried to do them twice a week. And it was all going well until I pulled my quad. And I pulled my quad in a bad way, man. Like the right quad really, I think it was a rectus femoris, one of the hip flexor quads. Really hurt me, man. It really hurt me, and since then I haven't been back to it. It is very taxing. It is a 1 rep max lift equivalent, because it's a sprint is all out. So you have to be very, very mindful of that. It is, it can really wreck you. John Mendoza says, thanks for the live. I live in Donna, Texas, USA. Going for a walk while listening to this live. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, John, man. Cheers, dude. Destitute says, same Joe. Turgrul Yesil Bag says, hi, Ivan. Learned a lot from you. I'm having difficulty to push my limits, thinking all the time about safety. All I think is not to injure myself. I'm 43 with small kids. How do you get over concerns? So, I've always been criticized about not pushing hard enough. I've always kind of been criticized. Oh, you probably have another 5% in that lift or whatever. I'm kind of like you. Lifting is all well and good, but I can't YOLO lift. I can't be snapping my spine, because my number one role in my life right now is to provide for my kids and to be a source of income and protection and all of that. So whatever I do in the gym is just like a side thing. So a part of me is always keep yourself safe, keep yourself safe, keep yourself safe. So most of the time when I'm auto-regulating my lifts, like when I'm going up in weight, the moment I feel like I'm kind of losing control, I stop. I don't want to be, sometimes I will grind, but the grind will be under control and I'll feel confident that my lumbar spine is intact and right. I see all the time guys on internet lifting like they're freaking lifting at the Olympics. I'm not going to be doing that. You won't be seeing me doing that. This is kind of one of the reasons why I don't want to compete. What's the point of competing? What am I going to get out of it? Other than, I know myself, dude. I know myself better than anybody. If I have to compete with somebody, I will die competing with somebody. My basketball juices, my competition juices will come out, and I'm going to want to, if somebody's lifting 10 kilos more, I'm doing 15. That is not a very safe environment for Ivan. That for me is not very, very good. Basketball like that is played. I get injured doing that. I'm very much an emotional basketball player. I'd probably be a very, very emotional powerlifter as well. I don't want to be in those situations because I can't snap my spine. I can't do that. But I battled with myself in the garage, with nobody around me. So having that on top is something that I don't want to do. So I hear you. Just be measured. This is a hobby. This is a way to get healthy. This is a way to get strong. It shouldn't be a way to get injured. So I'm with you there, man. Josh Hiroti says, Stoltman Brothers gym is just like that. Warehouse locked away with the solvents. I love that. And I know about Stoltman Brothers. I don't watch a lot of their stuff, but I know about them. I know they're giants. One man and his white bread. Thoughts on mental health and staying in control. That's a loaded question, dude. Mental health is it's a big deal in today's society. I don't know whether there's just more light on it now than ever before, or whether we, like I said before, as a species are getting weaker, or whether this whole social media is doing more harm than good. But my experience, clinical experience, what I see in ED, it's very concerning, dude. Most mental health crises that we see is secondary to drugs. And in that cohort of people, the majority of mental health trouble is induced by crystal meth, methamphetamines. So if you stay away from the crap which will, rampage your dopamine receptors, that will rape your dopamine receptors, absolutely destroy them. If you stay away from these things, you should be all right. There are some organic cases where it's just purely, mental health, genes. Maybe that's your weakness in your genetic makeup, your upbringing, the traumas you had in your developmental years. There's a lot of that. But I feel like a lot of us, I don't know, this is not a medical opinion, but I think a lot of us are burning on both ends of the candle, if you will. Too much coffee, too much pressure, too much hard work, too much comparison on social media, too much, I want to be like this guy, like that guy, like this guy, girl leaves me, I want to die. Like, there's a lot of negativity. I'm going to do some drugs. Everyone's doing drugs. Back when I first started going out, right? You'd go out with maybe $100 in your pocket and you get a couple of beers. Okay, you might want to get an orange and a vodka. That's cool. Orange vodka. That's cool. Now people go out and they don't want to spend, $15, whatever the hell it is now, $12 on a beer. They'll spend $20 on some meth and they'll go out. So drugs are front stage, not just performance enhancing drugs, which are probably something that we as a community often hear about, but also the party scene. And so a lot of these things are destroying our mental health. So I could go deep into this, but that's kind of my initial thoughts. Michael's Life Cycle says, good girl, bad girl machine. Never heard that before. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about though, the adductor and the glute med abduction machine. Robert Jones Wang says, what's on for the weekend, mate? So I've got a night shift on the weekend. That's going to dominate my weekend. And then after that, I'll just kind of work around the family. Maybe we'll go out and do things around that. But yeah, I've got a night shift. That's kind of, ruins it a little bit, I guess. DB says, cheers, Ivan. Yeah, some space for sled sprints would be sweet, definitely. Marco says, sorry if this is too personal, but how much money do you make from YouTube? How much money do you make from YouTube? Okay, it's not too personal, I don't mind. You can probably find this out yourself on various websites. So I make, because the way I monetize the videos and the way I kind of set it up, I only choose to put adverts at the start of the videos and at the end of the videos. And as you know, most people don't make it to the end of the video. So the end of the video ad basically does F all for me. At the start of the video is the only thing that I basically get. So I get something like $1.80. I think this year has been $1.70 or something like that, average per 1,000 views. In the last few months, I've been averaging 400,000 views a month. So you can work it out from there, right? It's not a lot of money. The majority of money, the majority of security that I get from you guys is the Patreon support group. The Patreon support group has been amazing. I've got about, I think, 200. Yeah, John, I am reading. I just saw the phone. I'm reading the messages on there. Yeah. So I've got about 230 Patreons, and I think the figure all up, all of that is around, I think I just checked it this morning, $820, I think, per month. So I get $820 per month from Patreon, and I get around $700 or $800. I think last month was $1,000 from YouTube revenue. So YouTube revenue gives me $1,000, Patreon gives me $800. So I get, let's say, $2,000 a month from YouTube. That is it. A lot of people will ask me like, dude, why don't you, why do you work so much? YouTube pays me $1.80 for 1,000 views. And if you see my recent videos, I get like 3,000-4,000 views per video. And so I'm not making a killing here, man. Like, this is not what people think. Oh, Ivan's got 100,000 freaking subscribers. If 100,000 people watch my videos every single day, and I earned 700, if I had 700,000 views per week, so now we're talking like, so that's so Australian, that's probably like $2,000 a week. So $2,000 a week, that would be like enough to live off of. So I need to go from 100,000 views, probably even less now. It does this, but right now I'm getting much less. I'm getting like 50,000 views. It's more than that. I think I'm getting like 70,000 views per week now, with all of the 1,000 freaking channels working together to get that. So I need 10 times the viewership for me to live off of this. So, people often think, oh, you've got the YouTube plaque, you're set, you're a millionaire. It does not work like that. YouTube cares much less about how many subscribers you got. What it cares about is how many viewers come back every single day. So that's kind of the breakdown of it. Waldo S says, as a newbie, is it okay to do 5x5 strength every day? Strength every day. So 5x5 usually calls for quite heavy percentages. It's a linear periodization program, so you usually start like at 70%, and you work your way to 85 until you start failing, then you reset. 5x5 is, in my opinion, that's where I started, that's my background. I think it's great for half of the time. So half of the time, that program, you're using weights that are too light, and then the other time you're using weights that are too heavy. There's maybe like a week or two period where the weights are just right. That's the trouble with linear periodization. Every day, that's too much, because you can't be using 85%, 80% of your lifts every single day. That can't work. You need to stick to the 3 times a week for this to work. Otherwise, you'll be burning out. If I had my time again and I had to train, I would just bodybuild. I think bodybuilding is the best way to start. Just add some tissue, add some mass, practice with light weights, practice all the movements, have lots of variation, do all these things, volume. Then you can specialize that tissue that you've developed into something meaningful, like a power lift or Olympic lift or whatever. I think I myself have spent way too long. I'll be the first one to admit that. Way too long messing around with like singles, doubles, and triples, and not enough time doing proper freaking volume, like lunges for shit ton of reps, push-ups for shit ton of reps, pull-ups, that kind of thing, the bodyweight stuff. If you're a rookie muffin man, like, work on your push-ups, work on your pull-ups, work on all the other stuff. Get some freaking tissue, man. Like, what did Wendler say? Wendler said, I've forgotten his name. Mark Wendler, Jim Wendler. Jim Wendler said, you can't flex muscle. So, and that's true. Like, you need some muscle tissue. And as a rookie muffin, you don't want to be, pushing heavy weight and risking injury because you don't know how to move yet. Stick with the 10s and the 15s reps. Build some momentum there. Max J says, hey Van, just popping in and wanted to say, love the channel and what you're doing, brother. Have a great day. Thank you, Max. Appreciate that. Flying Atom says, my dad passed away and was a massive gym rat. He was in his 50s and hit 160 on the squat. I'm trying to beat him. I'm stuck on 100. Any tips to build up? Well, Flying Atom, man, it depends how heavy you are. It depends how heavy your dad was. Like, if you're a 5'5" fella, 160 kilo squat is actually very heavy. If you are a 6'5" guy, and you feel like your frame, it's not going to be much for you. So it depends. It depends what you're dealing with. But I think regardless of the weight and height, eventually everyone's going to get to 160. I think if you just stay with it, everyone's going to get there. 160 is not that high of a weight. I mean, it took me probably I'm gonna lie here, it probably took me a good 3 years, 4 years to get to 160, something like that, I want to say, even with my risk-averse approach. So, mix it up, mix up your routine, mix up the variations that you're using frequently, find your weaknesses and attack them with vengeance, with lots and lots of reps. Duncan Lawford says, hi from UK. Think I might be starting my own psoas hip pain journey. I don't mind too much because I was worried I had swollen lymph nodes. So a strain is preferable to lymphoma. Yeah, lymphoma is a scary word, man. Hip pain sucks, man. You know me, man. I've spent a lot of freaking time with hip pain, that's for sure. But I reckon you can work it out if you just stick with it. I've lost my freaking... Where am I again? Yeah, here you are. Yes, it depends. The one thing I would say to you is, bloody hell, I lost it again. I hate it when the thing flicks and I lose my... Oh, here we go. Just work out what's weak, and that's probably gonna have the best of impact for you when it comes to working out the hip pain. For me, the hip pain was, I think, it's purely all adductors. It was probably proximal adductor tendinopathy, if I think about it right now. For a long time, I thought it was hamstring related, but I think right now it was adductor related because the adductor would be sore on touch and it would radiate pain to the lateral hip. This is where referred pain is an absolute bitch to work out. You don't know what the hell is going on. But the moment I started wide, I have not had a sniff of hip pain, a single sniff of hip pain. Going wide, I don't think about hips at all anymore. Like, I'm done. I'm done with hip pain completely, purely because I went wide. RSGW2, good morning. Have been big exercise to me. Good mornings. Yeah, dude. That's on my list. I want to do good mornings with the SSB. That's something that's been on my mind for a little while now. I want to get into that. He says also, I haven't find better exercise to hamstring position. I agree with you. Good mornings are right up there. Saifullah Abdu says, try back extensions and Nordics. Also good. Ego lift every day. Ego lift every day always makes it to the first comment of every video. So appreciate you, man. Good evening from our corner of the globe. Hey, man, how's it going? RS again says, I'll do back extensions. Is why better than that. Dobro jutro, Joe. Reverse Nordics are great. They're having a bit of a back and forth. First time on the channel in a few months. Christopher Garrow, welcome back, dude. Appreciate you. The streak is still going, Christopher, man. I haven't let it go yet. Still enjoying it, still exploring, still learning the whole process and everything else that's around it. Oh my God, something else popped up. DB94 says, you heard of Jason Blaha? He's big on conjugate method. Jason Blaha, I'll answer this while I've got you here. Jason Blaha, man, back in the day when I was telling you guys, back in the day when I was learning about, my new days, when I was learning about Mark Ripito, all those texts that I was reading and all that stuff that I was kind of Jim Wendler, and I was reading all sorts of stuff, watching a lot of videos. And back then, Jason Blaha was quite popular. I feel like his videos were doing quite well. And I started watching him, and I really, really resonated with his style of video. No bullshit. The guy would literally sit down and just start freaking reading some, just sit in front of the camera, kind of like I am now, and no production value, nothing. He would just let it rip. And I really like that. And for some reason, he got a lot of heat, and I don't understand the history behind all of that stuff. People were teasing people, all sorts of stuff. Lots of negativity towards him. I never quite understood it, but I think the guy has, I think he has a positive influence on the community. He's basically sharing his ideas of what's going on. Okay, he doesn't look like a bodybuilder. He doesn't look sexy like some of the other guys. But I think there's a lot of knowledge there. And I think he shares a lot of the stuff that he goes on about. And that's all we can do at the end of the day. Like, I don't think he comes across as somebody that knows the secrets. I think he's just, I think he was just, I don't know. This is the thing. Like, when I make my videos, I make sure that I show you guys that I'm not an expert. I don't have all the answers. And I don't think anybody has the answers in this, because there's so much variation. There's many different parts to the goal. For some reason, he got murdered for it. I think recently I saw that he was doing a lot of conjugate. But I don't have a lot of time. I haven't watched him in a long time, actually. But I never understood why the hate he got. But DB94, thank you so much for the support, dude. It really means a lot. Back and forth. Seppi G says, Flying Adam, they're talking about that still. Back extensions, the boys are still talking about it. And then we have Execution Somar. I see your DP. I see your username all the time, and I can never freaking pronounce it. How you going, dude? The boys are still talking about back extensions. Working my way through. Execution says he's coming off an antidepressant. Yeah, antidepressants, man, like, it's heavy shit, dude. It's not to be taken lightly. Follow your doctor's orders and the rest of it, but just, I wish everyone had the mentality of minimalism when it comes to medications. Minimalism. Try and do everything in under the sun. And there's many different ways you can kind of go about things without doing the medicine route. But if that's what you need, that's what you need, man. Fred Craven says, I feel like that's part of the reason why we don't have meds that fix issues rather than meds that help a problem. Yeah, money, man. No Clue says, I could listen to you talk all day. Oh, thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Miloš P says, development of insulin resistance is getting more and more common. Been noticing it in young women around my age, most 20. Dude, metabolic disease. I'll tell you something, man. I saw a video recently. It was a really, really cool idea. Like, really, really cool idea. Somebody set up a camera, a tripod in Times Square, New York, and stood there recording it, just a fixed camera recording the people walk past. This is 1950, around there, post World War II. And every person that was walking by, skinny. You could not see one single one overweight person even. You can't see anybody that's overweight. And then some other guy went to the same spot, found out exactly where he was, put the camera down, pointed in the same direction, fat, morbidly obese, fat, skinny. So what has changed in 70 years? From 1950 to 2020, where have we gone wrong? There's a bunch of things that have happened in this time. Look at some of the empires that have risen in this time. The pharmaceutical company has done this, straight up. The fast food industry, or don't get me on the pyramid. Let's talk about the food pyramid. What should we be eating, experts? Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. These people, the nutritionists, the very, very experts that we trust with our lives, what to eat, they are sponsored by the very people that are making the drugs, the insulins and all the other shit on the other side. This is Conspiracy 101. I realize what I'm saying is, but I don't give a shit. I'm telling you exactly what I think. And so they feed off each other. It's business. If you and I were business partners and we're like, how do we make trillions out of this shit? I know. Let's get people really unhealthy, and then I'll send them to you, and you sell them some more pills, and then they're gonna get so depressed about it, they're gonna want some more comfort food. I'll make my shit really salty and really sweet, and then we're gonna go again. And Business 101. Never completely satisfy your client, never completely heal your client. Just tickle their balls a little bit every once in a while so they keep coming back. Business. Nobody's interested about fasting. How the hell do you sell fasting? How do you sell fasting? How do you do it? I don't know, man. If you want to get rid of your type 2 diabetes or your pre-diabetic state, fast. Stop eating. 1 week fast, don't do anything. See what happens. How the hell do you sell that shit, man? How do you sell that crap? You can't. I'm telling you, you can't. So this is where you start to, really question what these people are telling you. I don't give a shit if they come from Harvard, Yale, all these other, I don't give a shit what credentials they have. You need to switch your brain on and actually realize this GP that's feeding me this shit is part of the system. Or maybe don't even realize what system they're part of. People think, oh, he's a doctor, he's really smart. Bullshit. Bullshit. I work in hospitals. I work with absolute morons. Morons. So you need to think for yourself, and whatever information that you get, you need to think for yourself. You need to do your own research. We live in an information age. It's everywhere. You need to look into this stuff, because if you look from 1950s to 2020, this is their control. The people in power for the last 70 years have done this to us. We're all fat. We're all diseased. We're all reliant upon medications. What's happened? They have played us like little pawns on a chessboard. They're doing exactly what they want with us. And we vote for them every single year. We're like, yeah, these are the people we want in power. What's happened to us? If I got really, really, really obese, really unhealthy, who am I blaming? Myself, because I'm in control of myself. But where am I getting my education? Where am I getting all of my ideas from? And we're like little sensors running around, reflecting on what the environment is giving us. Every single time you turn on a footy match, every time you soccer match, AFL football, basketball, wherever you go, what do they go? Sponsored by McDonald's, sponsored by alcohol companies, sponsored by this company, sponsored by this pharmaceutical company. It's just shit everywhere. So from the age of 5, as soon as you grow a brain, you start to get these images. I could go on forever, man. It's a sore spot. I hate, not hate, but it really bothers me when I see the obesity problem getting out of hand, and when I see people trying to accept this new image. Don't fat shame. Don't, how dare you say that? You can't say that. We are just different body. We're thick boned. This is in my genes. It's in your genes. In your genes. Look at 1950s. Tell me which one of your relatives was fat. Which one was obese? It's not in your genes, man. No, nothing like that is in our genes. We've been poisoned. We're continuously being poisoned. That's what's happening, man. Without a doubt, that is what's happening. Because what's happened in the last 70 years, goddammit? Like, what's happened? It can't be anything else. People are just running around eating everything like Pac-Man. Do you take vitamins? I take fish. I don't take anything, dude. I don't take a single damn thing. Ivan, do you think that exercise is a certain stigma among the common population? How do you think it got to be like this when exercise is one of the best things for a human being? Well, because you can't be, you have to fit in. To fit in now, you got to be obese, man. That's what's happening. The norm now is to be overweight. The guy that's fit is looked upon like, you went for a run before work? You're telling me you woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you went into your garage and you trained. Weirdo. Weirdo. We're the weird ones, man. You and me are the weird ones, man. We are the weird ones. But if I said I got up and went to Macca's and I plastered myself with freaking Macca's, oh yeah, that's perfectly acceptable. By me going for a run in the morning and doing a squat every day, weird. You have mental health issues, Ivan. Why don't you go on a holiday, Ivan? Why don't you stop eating for a week? How about that? Why don't you stop eating for a week? How about that? But I'm the odd one out. Turmeric, cinnamon, green tea, something I found to be stable in my diet. Yeah, man, good stuff. Just noticed that you went live. Gonna go back and listen from the beginning. See you in 40 minutes. See you, dude. Rasmus Mott. Mark Bennett, you're a good man, Ivan. Thank you, dude. Brandon PJ, you mentioned fasting. What do you think is the best way to fast? Anything. Any way your life can, 18 and 6, 16 and 8, whatever you want to do. Just have extended period of time where you don't put anything in your mouth. Marvin says, who here wants to make some serious money? No clue. You helped me fix my shoulder pain when benching. Crazy how a set of 5 pull-ups before benching fixes everything. There you go, dude. Pleasure to hear that. Fabian Mejia says, Ivan, I'm new to the channel. I'm blown away by your consistency. Where does your relentless drive come from? What is the purpose you lean on during hard times? Fabian, man, I don't know. I don't know if I can explain that in a succinct way very quickly. What's the alternative is what I think to myself. What's the alternative? To be like everyone else? To be like the 99% of the people that walk on the globe? I've always wanted to be an athlete. I always wanted to train like an athlete. I dreamed about being a professional athlete, whether it was a soccer player when I was before 10. After 10, I dreamed about playing in the NBA. I didn't get that, obviously. I didn't make it to that goal, but I yearned to feel like an athlete. Even though I can't play basketball very well, I wanted to feel like an athlete. And what do athletes do? Athletes get after it every day. Whether you like it or not, they get after it every single day. And so that's what I'm doing. I want to get after every single day. I want to train like Michael Jordan, Kobe. I want to train like all the greats of the game. Yeah, I'm not gonna get anything for it. You know, I'm just a scrubber somewhere on the other side of the world. But I want to feel like every single time I get up and lace my shoes, I'm going to work. And part of me kind of imagines that I'm going to the Staples Center to shoot my free throws, and all the boys around, and as we're preparing for a game, I'm just launching my shots. Makes me happy. Kind of makes me almost like feel like a kid, like again, you know, dreaming about some of these things. Instead of reaching the NBA finals, I reach about 300 kilo squat. I think that's been a very, very healthy thing for me, because when I gave up basketball, it was a tough pill to swallow. What now? What do I do now? Just pop a couple of kids out and go to work until I'm 70, and then hopefully I don't drop dead at work. And then hopefully I get enough money and go on a bit of a trip around the world before I get cancer or a heart attack or a stroke. That seems to be the basic mold. I can't do that shit, dude. I can't do that. I have to feel like I'm doing something that's making me feel like an athlete, like something different. I can't be like the guy next door, this way or that way, sitting down, working 9 to 5, going to the pub, coming home, eating dinner, drinking a couple more beers, going to sleep, waking up, repeat. I can't do that shit, dude. I can't do that. Carl McDonald says, Ivan, you inspired me to work out every single day. Woke up today in a band and played last night. Got 3 hours of sleep. But I saw you had a live stream and got to work out. Respect, man. See, when I hear these types of things and people are getting positive energy from me, it kind of makes me happy, man. It kind of makes me, you know, it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling to, you know, push somebody in the right direction. Because you never know, that person, once you push them in the right direction, they might go on and do wonderful things in their life. They might freaking go to the NBA. And one day, you know, they'll send you a message and say, Ivan, man, you know, I want to thank you for what you did. You know, when I was 18 years old, you said some words that really meant a lot to me. And here I am now holding the freaking NBA MVP, Finals MVP trophy, man. And you got a lot to do with that. I put my first foot forward because of your words. I mean, those types of thoughts are ecstasy to me, man. Like it's a beautiful thing. This is the whole part of what I said before about giving. Like if you learn how to give and you truly enjoy giving, life is it's a beautiful thing. You know, you just want to radiate positivity out into the world. You never really know where it's gonna fall, where it's gonna go, but as long as you radiate positivity and you know, nice energy around the world, I think there's laws in place in nature that nice things are gonna come back to you as well. That's kind of how I think about it, man. Melo Knight says, you're an inspiration, dude. Thank you so much, man. Ivailo Yanko says, what's up, dude? Greetings from Bulgaria. Hey, dude, Hawaii, man. Destitute BG, beautiful country. Absolutely beautiful country. Freaking inspired this whole channel, basically. Bloody Bulgarians, they psychopaths over there with the squat every day. What were they thinking? Execution says, man, you should have a daily slot to teach kids in every school in the world. Oh man, that would be sick. That would be amazing. Pedro Diaz says, greetings from Chile, Ivan, 8:33 a.m. here, bro. Oh, respect, man. Good morning. Strbe says, most humble YouTuber. Thank you, man. Brendan Murray says, hey, Ivan, how are you? Hope you're well. Always enjoy watching your uploads. Appreciate you, Brendan, man. Thank you so much. Charlie says, would you rather quit squatting or nursing forever? It would have to be nursing, man. I think. It's a heavy one because nursing has made me. You know, if I said quitting nursing forever, that's literally quitting interacting with people in a very interesting forum. When you meet people in a club, different conversation. When you meet somebody in a shop, ding, 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 different type of conversation. When you meet somebody in a research room, different kind of forum for a conversation. Lots of very, very different type of energy. Lots and lots of valuable words are said in an environment like that. So for me, that's yeah, I don't know. Like squatting for me is obviously, squatting is not just squatting, it's training every day. It's a big deal for me. But nursing made me who I am. Nozu says, hello, man. Flyman Rob says, hey, Ivan, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Have you ever thought of doing heavy Bulgarian squats as a primary exercise some days? I think you would love them. I've made 95 kilos times 3 recently. Heavy Bulgarian squats. Oh, you mean split squats? I think you mean split squats. Yeah, I mean, split squats are nice. In fact, I've been doing lunges like basically a few times a week now. So similar thing. Steve Kalamas says, morning coffee and a live from Ivan. Optimal for the mindset before training. Appreciate you sharing the journey. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you for sticking around, man. Keenan Karuthis says, I think I pulled my bicep tendon. Damn. Or overstretched my brachialis muscle the other week. Not sure what it is. Had to dial it down and deload most pulling movements, which sucks. Damn, be careful with that. I wonder how you did it. Brendan PJ says, apple cider vinegar or tea tree oil is great for ringworm or staph, in my experience. There you go. Natural antibiotics, man. Colton, good morning. Bisma, Bakai, good morning, man. Some very, very, Bisma is always here. Appreciate it, dude. RSGW2, I do heavy leg workout twice a week, but the second one is a slightly lighter one. And I do uphill sprinting on the day before I do my lifting. It doesn't take away as much. Oh, there you go. Maybe for sprinting for some is better, but I'm very, very kind of stiff in the hip flexors. Maybe that's why I cop it. Am I going to be shipping to the US international for jerseys? Absolutely, man. Yeah, Amazon's going to be shipping everywhere, so I'll be shipping everywhere. Aris says, first plyometrics, then sprinting, then heavy lifting later on the day. I like it. Brendan PJ, a good alternative for sprints are hill sprints, weighted sprints, prevents you from being able to fully extend out. Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually. Really good idea. You don't want to run full speed unless you're an actual sprinter. Yeah. Yep. Big Guy says, hey guys, can't stick around, but hope you're doing well today. Appreciate you, Big Guy, wherever you are. Errol Sarus says, I'm a newcomer to the channel. Welcome, dude. Welcome. Oh, man. Somehow I feel like I will never be able to catch up. Unreal. So many. My throat's going freaking, going out. It's amazing how quickly your throat, how quickly it fatigues. A couple more minutes and we'll call it quits. I've said that before and it ends up being another hour. chilling out. Execution says mental health is my main fight in life. Grew up with anxious mother, got anxiety, OCD through the roof during teenage years, still recovering. I feel you, man. A lot of people that grow up in not ideal family models, lots of trauma. A lot of these people fight all throughout their adulthood with mental health trouble. So I feel you over there. How old are you? Do you drink coffee? I don't drink coffee and I'm 34. Vincent Dursey says, hey Van, I like to listen to you and your thoughts, but I don't have time now for the live. Could you put this in YouTube video so I can listen to it later? Yeah, it's gonna pop up. It's gonna pop up somewhere on the channel. Click on the live tab and it should be there somewhere. Vincent Dursey from France. How you going, dude? Keenan Caruthers says, sprinting is probably my favorite cardio workout. It's type 2 and B, fiber dominant, progressive overload with sprinting is insane. Absolutely, man. The most athletic thing you probably do, man. John says, hey, Van, you look handsome today as always. Hope you're having a great day. Lots of love, my friend. Appreciate you, John. Thank you for being here, man. Execution says, several challenges I'm trying these days. No screen past 11. Nice. 2 coffees a day. Nice. Good work. Squad RX, there he is, man. I spoke about him earlier. He's the man. He's the man with the quote that I said earlier. Good morning, man. Yeah, I'm reading the messages, Johnny. John Mendoza, I'm 36 and got in the best shape of my life back in 2021. I practice on semen retention periodically, stop going out, maybe around 27, 28, less stress. I'm a late bloomer. Whatever you need to do, man, to get a hold of stability in your life. Post-training meal is the best feeling, absolutely. Have you had any decent brands reach out for sponsorships? Hi, Faye. I've had a bunch of people kind of reach out over the course of the channel. The only sponsor that I said yes to was the gun, the massage gun. Jeez, I forget the name now. Oh man. Damn it, it's escaped me, my brain's off. They sent me a, what was it, a $300, maybe it was a $400 unit massage gun. I reviewed it in one of the videos like 2 years ago. They sent the thing for free. I made a bit of a review and I kept the thing. And so that's kind of the only sponsor that I really have had. All the other stuff has been not something in my kind of alley, and I felt like it's a rip-off. A lot of these clothing brands want you like, they'll give you a code where people buy stuff. It's like, and the code gives you like 5%. I mean, to me, it's ludicrous. Like, so you're giving these people like 500,000 views a month, and they give you $4. What the hell is that, man? What the hell is that? So a lot of these things are a joke, in my opinion. I'd rather stay on my own and do my own thing with no strings attached. I talk about whatever I want to talk about. There's nothing in my screen. I don't have to say anything for anyone. I like it that way. I'm just me and that's it. To me, it's a lot better that way. Mass moves mass. Plain and simple. No replacement for displacement. Ash says, yep. Thoughts on Mike Mensa? Charlie says, I don't know, man. I'm not an expert, but what I understand about Mike Mensa is that he used to say, do 1 set to failure, if I'm not mistaken. Like ultra high intensity. I don't understand how that can work for a natural body. I really cannot understand that. Unless you take some crazy stimulant and you go to like RPE 15. I know for a fact that a lot of these bodybuilders that the golden era bodybuilders didn't just take steroids. They also took pain relief. So these guys would load up on Oxycontin, painkillers, and they will go do a chest workout. And you might think to yourself, how the hell does that make sense? Well, they don't feel pain, man. You can push on and on and on and on and on. So imagine you usually get 10 reps, you get 15 because you don't feel pain. You literally go to muscle failure until your muscles can't go anymore. You literally can't recruit any more fibers. You stop there. So unless you're doing something like that and you're freaking high on pills, like I don't know if you can get enough stimulus out of one freaking set. To me, that does not make sense. I mean, I'm not an expert, like I said, but in my mind, it doesn't make sense because I've done a lot of sets in my life and I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe some of you guys have better experiences with that and might share your ideas, but that to me doesn't make sense. Liam says, I'm about to do 163 by 5 for the first time later today. Good luck, Liam, man. Been training 9 months, squat, started at 60. I wonder what your body weight is, man. That's unbelievable. Hi, Ivan. The sub kneecap quad tendon has been inflamed for a long time. Any experience with such tendon injury? It does not hurt, but it swells and gets red and stiff. Even walking for 5 minutes gets it. With these types of things, man, inflammation, you need blood. Blood. So start doing like super light stuff for like 100 reps. So getting a leg extension machine, pick whatever weight you can do for 100 reps and just blood, or do like giant sets, so do like 30 and then rest like 5 seconds, do another 20, rest like 2 seconds, like just keep pumping the blood. That, and also you need to start doing ATG squats. I don't know if you're doing ATG squats, but you need to stretch those tendons out. If you're doing quarter squats or half squats or whatever the case might be, that could be the reasons why you are getting inflamed. I've never had any trouble with my knees, and I think the reason is because I'm going ATG. As counterintuitive that is, I think that's the key that's saved my knees. Boris Karavasilev says, hi Van, the sub kneecap, oh that was him. Keenan Karutha says, in your opinion, what's your thoughts on 2.4 to 2.5 bodyweight deadlift 1 RM? See, it's not the number on the bar I look the most. I look at the per kilo bodyweight approach for all compound. Yeah, so that kind of works for a lot of guys, but it gets really awfully difficult for like heavier guys, right? So like if you look at, Eddie Hall, he lifted 501 kilos, whatever the hell it was, and he weighed 200 kilos. So that's, 2.5 body weight, whatever it is. Am I getting that right? 2.5 body weight. So, when guys are like 60 kilos and lifting 4 times body weight, sumo with a bendy bar and whatever, it's not quite the same. Like that's a nice thing to have, and I get the idea, but it's highly more advantageous for these ratios to be achieved by a lot of guys. So if you have a 50 kilo guy, he can get to a 4 times body weight deadlift. Let's say it's a crazy feat, but it's kind of like easier than Eddie Hall. Like Eddie Hall would need to lift like 2 tons, man, or whatever. Like 800 kilos to get to 4 times body weight. I mean, that's humanly impossible. How much sets of warming up do you do? It depends, man. It depends on the day. It depends on how I feel. It depends on many other factors, man. But a lot of times I will do, in the since this year, really, man. Like I get the bar and I usually do it for like 5 sets of 10, 10 sets of 10, or 5 sets of 20, something like that. The squat. By then, the quads are warm, the lower back is warm, everything's freaking warm, and I'm ready to start piling on the weight. Execution says, had a small adductor tear doing leg press warm up, did quite a lot of adductor machine, eventually healed. There you go. Runner boy, what's up, man? Hawk Zero says, hey Van, what's good? What's up, guys? What's up? Misk the Kakela, what's good, brate? So it's one of ours. Misk the Chuchkela, maybe it's like that. Sebastian, hi Van, runner boy, Rich Piana area was very toxic. Saifullah Abdu says, what are the best books you have read regarding ATG? I mean, ass to grass squatting, huh? Or all things gym, maybe. I don't know. I always say the same books. I mean, I haven't been reading in a long time now, but I keep repeating the same books. Power to the People by Pavel Tsatsouline, goated for me. And obviously Squat Every Day by Matt Perryman. Those are the biggest books that have touched me, and I've read both of them a few times. Jason Moynihan says, yo, Ivan, what's up? Execution. Ivan, do you have any calisthenics goals too, apart from basic movements? I do, man. Like, the calisthenics is come and go, man, for some reason. I want to get to 100 push-ups. I want to get to 100 push-ups. I definitely want to do that. That's still in the books. One day in my life, I'll be able to do that. But I've also stalled majorly on the bench. I have to get that going as well. I haven't cared about bench press enough, so I want to get that going as well. Hopefully this variation phase that I'm in is going to do something positive. But yeah, eventually I want to get to it. Oh. Execution says, oh, thank you, Execution, man. Appreciate that, man. Really means a lot, man. You're always around and you always help me out, man. So thank you. Thank you for the input and the support. Execution also says, yeah, it's French. Somar. Can be pronounced a bit like summer. Sommer. Oh, sommer? Or maybe sommer? Something like that. Oh, nice, man. I didn't know you were French. That's cool. Zul. Most people would rather the quick fix than cut back to meds. It's just fast and easier, so the pills. Yep, absolutely. Exactly. Everyone lived active back in the day. Exactly. Lots of discussion about the food thing that I went on about. Lots of talk about that. Yeah. IO says, yo, Ivan, I'm doing a 72-hour fast. Respect, dude. Hats off to you, man. What do you eat to break your long fast? Surprisingly, not much, man. The thing about, fasting for a long time is by the time you come back, your stomach is shrunk all the way. And so you can't really fit a freaking animal, like a cow, into your stomach, man. So you have to start small, which is another thing why these people that are overweight don't understand, is that when you go into a big fast, it reduces your stomach, so you can't consume that much food. Because, if you're eating every 2 hours, you're constantly stretching the damn thing. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So fasting will reduce it. So I usually have some sort of carbs, protein, just a normal meal, just a smaller portion. According to my GP, Keenan says, to go to my GP, I'm obese and unhealthy as my BMI is 32.3. But when I did a pinch test, I'm 18 to 90% body fat. Well, this is where the BMI is an absolute freaking joke. It doesn't account for athletes. It doesn't account for people that actually move. So muscle obviously weighs more than fat, and so BMI is a joke as well. I'm probably overweight as well, which is ridiculous because the most important tissue in the human body in terms of basal metabolic rate is lean tissue mass, or i.e. muscle. Muscle is what holds the mitochondria. Mitochondria is the very thing that burns damn energy. And so for somebody to say that you're overweight because you have too much muscle is absolutely the counter argument to the whole thing. You want more mitochondria because that's going to increase your metabolic rate, and it's going to make you burn more calories by sleeping in the bed. By me sitting here, I'm burning more calories than somebody that's 50 kilos and is just a skeleton. You know what I mean? Like, I'm burning more calories because there's more of me. More muscle, more factories burning the damn thing. Love your videos, James Green. Thank you, guys. Catalyst Pulses says, careful while playing basketball, man. Haven't played for 10 years, and one day I had to go at it, snap my Achilles. Be careful. Hey, I know very too well. I am not in basketball shape at all, and I'm basically scared of it. Carlos also says, hey, Ivan, I've been watching since day 300. Man, that's unbelievable. Been around for a long time. Love your videos. Always love squatting. That's how I found the channel. Tore my Achilles 5 months ago. I can finally squat now, and it's a freaking joy. Glad to see you're on the mend. The Achilles is tough, man. It's a big, big tendon. Once that thing goes, it's life-changing, really. James Green, German's facts. I remember eating 6 eggs in the morning, and family, my people thought I was weird. Nobody said anything when my cousin brought Burger King home. There you go. Perfect, John. That's exactly what I was talking about. I love Snatch says winter is weightlifting season. We're keen for all the lifting event. Man, I want to do it. It's just not enough time, man. Not enough time. Like there's so many goals. Right now, what I want to do is just get the freaking squat moving, which seems to be working already after only a few weeks of this conjugate kind of style of training. I want to get the squat moving, want to get the deadlift moving. I feel like the year is already running out. And so I really, really, really want to kind of start moving in the right direction. When things start moving, when I kind of work out what's going on, then I can start messing around with some of these accessory ideas. But I really got to get the squat moving now. And now that I'm pain free and I'm feeling great, this is the time where I want to start doing lifting, learning new skills. Chechi Mikic says, do you think 1 meal a day can be actually good? Does it mess with functions of the body? Can all the food of, let's say, 25 calories can be properly digested in one sitting? I think so. There's a lot of people that do that. You just have to make sure that the one meal that you do have is nutritious. Lots and lots of fat. You need fat, especially for us guys, even for women as well. You need to understand that hormones are built out of fat. You need to eat fat. Fat are not the bad guys. As much as the other people out there, experts say fat is bad. You need fats, man. Laid Yacht B, what would be the best way to start the day in regards to losing weight? Fast. Period. Fast, move. Fast, move. Can't go wrong. Nothing's better. Hello. I have just huge passion into health, lifestyle, and all kind of sports when you need explosiveness, speed, and strength. Nice. Corey Worthington too says the basic wood mold you mentioned is death for men in society, mate. Dudes living lives of quiet depression. Admire you for doing what you're doing, mate. Thank you a lot, Corey. Dylan says, had 0 hours of sleep past an exam today. Well done, Dylan, man. Go get some rest now, dude. Sneakers says, what's your daily step count? No idea. Brandon PJ, 1 year into squat every day, 260 days into my own YouTube channel. All thanks for watching you for 300 days religiously. Thank you, sir. Wishing you a long, fulfilled, and healthy life. Man, what I'll do is, I can't click on here. I gotta get on your channel as well, Brandon, and see what you're doing and how you're going with it all. Oh, something else has popped up. Nihal Baines, thank you so much, man. Oh, it's amazing for me to see that. Thank you for the support, dude. Really, really does make a difference, man. It's really nice. Where are we? What is this? Jordan Gerbrand says, I have never seen such a positive community on YouTube as this one. Hey man, do you still believe in the powers of jump before squats? Yes, I'm still doing that. I'm still doing, not as frequently as before, but at least every other day I'm doing jumps. Now I'm not doing jumps like I was, like with the maximum kind of reach up, but I'm doing pogo hops right now. Like I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. I'm doing pogo hops. So you know, this is the ground, this is me. I'm kind of like doing this. So like minimal kind of knee bend. I'm kind of doing that. Whereas before I was doing these. That's what I was doing before. These, it's kind of like more ankle and knee kind of heavy. There's no hip flexion at all. So it's kind of like more priming the legs. But I'm still doing that. I'm a big believer in this in the jumps. Kurt Brownlee, always watch you after walking my dog while I get my breakfast. Toronto, Canada. Kurt, man, I recognize your profile picture. I know you're around. Thank you for coming back again, man. I Run the Peg says, one of the most inspirational YouTubers of all time. Cheers, man. Oh, dude. Means a lot to see that, dude. Thank you so much for that. I keep straining my hamstring when sprinting, Brock Bergeraff. When sprinting, do you think this can be fixed with high volumes? I watched a video talking about if it hurts to use volume to bring blood to it. Blood. That is the best form of healing you can possibly imagine, man. We'll do whatever you can to avoid the pain and pump blood into it. If you're straining the hamstring, though, you need to ask yourself, why is the hamstring straining? I'll give you my thoughts about it. I bet if you're continuously straining your hamstring when you're sprinting, I bet your glutes are weak. Bring your glutes up, man. Because the people that pop their hamstrings are usually the people that have sleepy glutes. Glutes and hamstrings need to work together for hip extension. So bring your glutes up, and I feel like you will see that your hamstring gets a bit more protection. It has to be that way. Anna says, "Oh, live, nice to see you, Anna." Annie Simmons says, "Good morning, Ivan. Good morning, dude. Nice to see you again." Oh yeah, on the hamstring curls, try and stay away from leg curls. Once again, leg curls will promote hamstring innervation, hamstring mind muscle connection. That is not what you want. You want the opposite to that. You want the glute mind connection. Because right now your hamstrings are doing all of the work, and that's why they're tearing. They get fatigued and they tear. So you need to get get the glutes on board. Once you get that, everything else will kind of fall into place. Glutes are like the key, man. Absolutely key. If your hamstrings are always tearing, man, it's probably because they're getting fatigued. So glutes. Think glutes, and your hamstrings will start to kind of live longer, if you will. Brock, who's saying, "Yo, Ivan." Austin says, "Ivan, why do you refuse to gain weight?" Austin, that's a good one. Oh, hold on, before I do that, I'm missing a couple. Anything is to share my journey a tad. I started training every day a few weeks ago. Took note from you and my friend doing the same. Well, works great. Definitely keeping at it. Love to hear that, dude. Hamza says, "Yo, Ivan, what's up, Hamza? How you going, dude?" Austin says, "Why do you refuse to gain weight?" I don't refuse to gain weight. Like if somebody said to me, here's 20 kilos of muscle, give it to me. I'm not gonna say no to that. What I do refuse to do is just get fat. I don't want to get fat because, health is important to me. I'm not here for 300 kilos and the day I hit 300 kilos, I die from freaking a blood pressure or something. Health is always going to be number one concern. This is why I'll never do drugs. This is why I'll never do all the other crap that people do, trading their health cards for arbitrary freaking physical feats. I'm not going to do that. So muscle, yes. Fat, no. I get it. The two things are kind of related a little bit, but still, I want to have a nice shape and I want to feel healthy. I don't want to have sleep apnea with a fat neck like this. I want to sleep nicely. Robert says vlog would be mint. Yeah, it would be nice to do that. It's just hard, man. It's hard to set it all up and have the time and not show too much of my life, my kids and whatever. There's all sorts of weird people out there, so I'm always kind of, mindful of that as well. Gaines Bookstore, honored to be part of the Squad Everyday fam, repping Squad Everyday from the jungles of Ethiopia. My man, respect, dude. What happened to the dunking side quest stuff, lol? Feel like you forgot about it. I never forgot about it, man. It's just I haven't had a holiday ever since then. The only time I can make that work is when I have annual leave. Other than that, like every single day is a go day, man. School pickup, school drop off, work, all the other commitments that I have with the family and the kids, and basically the weeks are going like this. I don't have time for this stuff. Tyson Him says, "Good morning from the US." Ansimer says, my daughter had her 15th birthday last week or so. Big party, they grow up fast. There you go. Cherish yours. It's unreal, man. It's unreal. I look at my girl and I'm like, man, where's 4 years going so quickly, man? Unreal. Big Coconut. Hey, Van, maybe you remember me. A few months ago, I commented about my 160 PR. Now I switched to powerlifting gym and started programming. My score blew up to 180 in no time. Thanks for the motivation. Well done, dude. Well done. In a few months, you did that. Amazing. Lade Yotbi says, what's the best way to start your day if you want to lose weight? Don't eat. Fast. Honestly, man. That's it. Matthias says, with how much delay does he read the chat? I can't find the questions he's referring to. I'm going one by one, man. It's taking me a long time, man. So I don't even know how far back I am, but there's a lot of little comments. Dixie Fiend says, Mike used lots of drugs. Yes, amphetamines, painkillers, steroids. Well, there you go, man. Doesn't that just explain everything? He explains the whole freaking lot. Corey Worthington says, how do you notice the trajectory of your channel grow? How did you notice the trajectory of your channel grow? E.g., after how many days of posting did you get your first 1,000 subs? Then how much longer did it get to 10,000? Great to see an Aussie do this. Corey, man. So I want to say I had not even 400 subscribers the first 2 years of uploading videos. Yeah, pretty sure. So I started my channel. I would upload one video like every month or whatever. Like, it was very infrequent. I was very kind of green, very nervous about the whole thing, very unsure what I wanted the channel to be. So that's how it all started. And then on day 377, so squat every day 377, I woke up one morning and got to my phone, and I saw 50 messages from the cameraman. And he was like, dude, your channel's going up, it's blown up, you got 50,000 views overnight. So I go on the channel and I see day 377 had 50,000 views. So just to give you context, before that I would get 3, 4, 10 views at most. So huge change. That completely changed the game. So that sparked 1,000 freaking subbies in over the next 2 weeks. 1,000 subbies. So it took me 2 years to get to 400, let's say. It took me 2 weeks to get to 1,000, and probably took me another month to get to, or maybe a month to get to 10,000 subscribers, and then probably took another month to get to 20,000. There was like a period of 6 months where I went from 400 to like 30,000 subscribers in 6 months. It did this, like, you know, then I upload another video and another video would catch on fire, and it was kind of like that. But the first 2 years I had no one, and then in the following 6 months I was up at 30,000 subscribers. That's how it was. It was crazy to see. It was just like that. So the 377, the 377 was really the start of the whole thing, which is why the NBA, the basketball jersey which I'm making will be a number 37, just to kind of remember that day. Henrik says, I also had inflamed knees. Doing them pause helped the time for me as well. Yeah, that's good as well. You can incorporate that as well. Kanaga says he's up to question by Av Anilo about 30 chats from now. You guys are trying to see where I'm at. Kanaga says, Ivan, your inspiration, mate. How do you find your cut treated you? Did you notice strength losses? I didn't really cut. I lost a few kilos, I think, you know, with the fasting and whatever. But also changed a lot of my training as well in this period as well. So it was kind of difficult to kind of gauge on what was going on. I definitely got weaker for a period there. But I think my strength is now better than ever, now that I'm kind of doing the conjugate and pushing difficult variations for me. Thank you, Execution, man. Really appreciate the support, dude. Really do. Warhorse Conjugate. Yo, Biggs. There you go, man. If you guys don't know who Warhorse Conjugate is, you gotta go check him out, man. So this fella, I think there's two guys, two training partners that kind of train together. He's been commenting on my videos for a while. He's been giving me so many pointers about the conjugate side of the world. Very, very knowledgeable guy. If I'm not mistaken, I'm sorry if I'm mistaken this, but he trained with or under Louis Simmons in the Westside Gym. So he knows a lot of the first-hand kind of stuff when it comes to the conjugate method. And I've learned a lot about all of this from him. Back when I first started kind of like fantasizing about doing Westside and started doing it, he was commenting like essays for me. And I was reading, getting ideas. he'd be looking at my form, and we're going back and forth. So I think a few weeks ago, he started this channel called Warhorse Conjugate, and on there, him and his partner upload videos. You can see some of the things they get up to. So a very, very knowledgeable fella, and I'm pretty sure he's quite happy to kind of, there you go, he goes, he's happy to help anybody. He's a really good resource. So, you know, I know in the social media space, especially getting things off the ground, it's kind of hard. But if you guys are interested to see another person trained conjugate and somebody that has real life experience, you know, rubbing shoulders with Louis Simmons, go check him out. And what I would say to you, Warhorse Conjugate, as well, man, is, dude, you know, I don't know if you're happy, but you know, I would actually start making videos where you talk into the camera, and you know, start teaching some of this stuff. So I don't know whether that's your style, or you know, if you feel comfortable doing that, but I think there's a lot of people out there, I'm basically talking for myself, that would love to you know, learn more. If you need ideas for videos, man, I'll freaking, you know, give you questions. I'll bloody ask the questions, and you make video responses. And in fact, I don't know if you know, but Elliot Halls, a YouTuber back in the day when I first started watching fitness on YouTube, he would do exactly that. You know, and he will literally get questions and he'll make video responses. So it'll be a nice kind of little way of going about it, because I think a lot of people don't know a lot about conjugate. Conjugate is not so much a program, it's a method, right? It's not, it can't be taught like, you know, like the starting strength. You've met Elliot. Well, there you go, man. You know, you live in that part of the world. So, you know, the conjugate method is there's a lots of different angles, and you need to learn, you know, all these different things about what's weak, what isn't weak, how to address it, and all that sort of stuff. So it would be amazing. It would literally be amazing if you started doing that. I know I myself would. I mean, I've subscribed to you, and I'd love to watch that. So, oh, Huey, there you go, man. Hi, Ivan. It was so cool to see how genuine you were, like you are in your videos. Thanks for being an inspiration to make progress in the gym, and more importantly, to be a kind, thoughtful person. Hey, man, it was a pleasure to meet you today as well, man. It was literally the highlight of my day. Really, I came home and I told my wife, and I said, look, man, I met a guy who watches the channel. It was really, really cool. And that reaction on your face and your mates was priceless, man. So it was nice meeting you as well, man. I usually break my fast with 1 pound of lean meat. My doctor doesn't even use BMI. Yeah. BMI talk. Where are we? Whoop. Jumped a bit. Sharpie says, I'm also just sitting here. We have so much in common. I'm also a huge fan of your content. Appreciate that, man. Niall says, Ivan, I know you've documented how little money you make off YouTube. So I just wanted to know, what is your intrinsic motivation for devoting so much time and effort to the channel? Much love. The intrinsic motivation, like the initial motivation was always just to track my journey, to see my thoughts progress, to see my own journey progress. That was kind of the first thing, because I never imagined people were going to watch this. I never thought in 100 years that anybody would want to freaking watch this stuff. When the things started picking up and people started asking questions, people started, like, you know, resonating with how I talk and what I talk about and my view on life, I started realizing that this journey wasn't just about me. This is actually helping other people. And the way I am, when I feel like I've helped somebody, it helps me. It motivates me. And so, you know, when you have multiple reasons to do what you do, it's you know, easier to come back. And so I would never be doing a live. I mean, imagine this, me doing a live freaking video and nobody's watching it. I mean, that would be pointless. But because there's people who are resonating with me and supporting this community and supporting this journey and supporting this nice little kind of, you know, thought process of training and all of that, it kind of motivates me to come back and do it. It's not the money, man. Like the money is, I get a little bit of money out of it, but really, like, if you break it down how many hours I put in, it is far, far less than minimum wage. But that, half minimum wage pay rate that I get doesn't really feel like work because I love doing this. I genuinely love. I don't love editing and doing the artsy fartsy stuff behind the scenes, but I do love talking to you guys and I do love training, and those two things alone make the whole thing go. So this is kind of the basis of it. If I was not in love with the process of training and not in love with what I'm talking about, I wouldn't be doing this. It's simple as that. I would not be doing this. I'll be spending my time doing something else. But it turns out that I actually enjoyed this. I enjoyed reading the comments about this topic. If we were talking about maths or physics, or if we were talking about money or economy or geometry or whatever the hell else is going on in the world, man, like billion topics over there, I probably would have tuned out and dropped out. But we're talking about something which I genuinely enjoy, and so it's easy. Jacob Mercer says, keep up the great work, man. Love your videos. Which NBA player do you reckon would have the best squat? I reckon Donovan Mitchell would be a sneaky pick. Ooh. That is tricky. Who is a monster? Who is thick in the hips? Who is thick in the core? I don't think some of these high flyers will be very good at squatting at all. I don't think they have a lot of the internal hip rotation, the core stability. It needs to be somebody kind of like Draymond Green type of character. Like that thick, freaking barrel-chested, core strong. Somebody like that, or somebody like... Who is it? I don't know. I mean, Jokic will probably, I don't know if you could hit depth, but he's a big boy. Zion wouldn't, because Zion has knee valgus just freaking walking around. So, now boys, we are over 2 hours now. I would love to keep this going, but it's 11:20. Exactly. Things gonna, man, see? Pozdrav iz Banja Luke, Ivane. Pozdrav, Milane, kako je? Steven Adams is a good one. I could literally sit here for 3 hours doing this, but I can't. My voice is actually getting the best of me now, so... No Clue deserves absolutely no clue, man. No Clue. Does No Clue also have a channel? Oh no. Everybody's waking up now and I'm gonna go to sleep. Maybe I should do some of these more and more. But it's hard for me because usually I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. It's 11:20 now, so I'm sleepy. I work today and the rest of that. But anyway, guys, I'll try and do one of these off the cuff like this, just chilling out. I'm gonna have to leave it here. I want to stay up, but I think my voice is getting tired. All right, boys, I have to tie it up here. Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for all the love, the support, all the gifts that you've given me. It's an absolute pleasure, and I wish I could be here for another hour and do it. But when I'm sleeping, you guys are not. When you're sleeping, I'm not. Vice versa. I don't know if I said that correctly, if it makes sense. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Probably tomorrow's video is going to be the next thing you see from me. Then maybe, I don't know when, maybe I'll do another one of these at some point. Anyway, guys, appreciate you. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Now, how the hell do I get out of this?